All right, folks, got here is a Nissan Altima. We're going to do a left front wheel bearing. So I'm going to show you how I got to this point, and then we'll get to the fun part. The fun part is always not so fun. Sometimes they're a breeze, don't get me wrong. Other times, they're a pain in the butt. But anyway, just like doing a brake job, got to take your caliper off first. 2 14mm bolts. Take it, hang it up somewhere with a hanger or a wire tie. That way you don't break the brake hose. Okay. Then you come down to the bracket, the caliper bracket. These are 22mm bolts. Okay. They're big. 22mm bolts. Take them off. This is going to come out in your hands. Okay. Put that off to the side. 1 bolt, 2 bolts. Okay. Then you get the rotor. Since the brakes were done recently, they just come out like a breeze. All right, so they're already loose. You don't have to hit it with a hammer or anything like that. Just grab it, place it down nice and carefully. Don't want to ruin it. Over here, there's a cotter pin. Remove the cotter pin. Remove the cotter pitch cage. And then this is a 32mm socket. All right, you go and you remove that. And your best friend is WD-40 or PB Blaster. Sorry, WD-40, but I have been using PB Blaster. That seems to be working the best. All right, so be very liberal with it. Soak it on the threads, on the bolts, because the 4 bolts come through the back. All right, soak that up all the way around. Okay, soak it in between and just let it rest. Go do something else, let it soak. It's gonna be your best friend. And you catch the bolts through the back. Okay, there's 4 of them. There's 17mm, right? 2 on top, 2 in the bottom. Okay, after you take them off, now we're up to the tough part. All right, so what I did here was I put the nut back on here, okay, for a couple of threads, and just tap this in. And I soaked that up with PB Blaster too. All right, soak it in there because the axle is going to stay in there while this piece comes out. All right, so there's a lot of hacks out there that people use. You can knock this stud out. They put a threaded bolt in there and they push it up against here, and they push the hub bearing out. But if you notice back here, I can put my finger here. So if you put a stud here, you got to bend this piece before it hits the aluminum knuckle here. All right, same thing over here. Not sure about this side. Okay, but the thing is, I'm not gonna put any pressure on an aluminum knuckle. If this was the steel knuckle, maybe it'd be a little different. But it looks like it's aluminum by the color. Don't want to mess with it. So I'm gonna go with the old school way. They sell a hub tool. Goes over here, and you strike it with a sledge, and you knock it down, and you cock it, and it breaks it right off. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. But like I said, soak it. I've been soaking it for a good hour now. Okay, don't be cheap. Pays in the long run, people. Pays in the long run. All right, so I'm gonna go get the tool. We'll set it up. I'm gonna lower this down a little bit so I can swing the sledge a lot better. All right, but that's how we got to this point. Let's do it. All right, here's the tool I'm using. All right, hub remover tool. You see them, they sell them online. Basically, this is goes on 2 of your studs. Okay, it's gonna bolt on with 2 of your lug nuts. They supply you with nuts, but they don't have the one with the right pitch. All right, so the idea is to secure it with the lug nuts over there, and you're gonna whack the top of this with a sledge, and you're gonna pull it down on an angle. So basically you're gonna hammer the crap out of it, and you're gonna knock it out of its knuckle. All right, so I'm gonna go and secure this with the nuts, and then lock it up. All right, this is the way it's gonna go on. I'm gonna use some of the washers that they supplied with me. Okay. tighten it up with my gun so it'll be nice and solid. Okay, let's go get my gun. All right, so this is 21 millimeter. Hopefully it'll fit in there without, my gun will fit in there with this bar. All right, should be good enough. I don't have to send it all the way home. It's not like I'm mounting a tire on it. All right, so basically this is the design. Okay, I'm gonna take a big sledge. I'm gonna hit this, and it's gonna pull out that on an angle and knock it out. Let's go get my sledge. All right, you ready? It's not gonna be pretty. We're gonna hit it. Let's do it. Hopefully it doesn't break the camera. All right, we're gonna hit it right here, people. Actually, that came out pretty good. Wasn't that bad for a northeastern car. All right. Now we're just gonna pull the rest of it out. So I'm gonna zap this lug nuts off. So I can take the tool off. Just hold it back up. 1, 2. Watch this come out. The tool is probably heavier than the freaking hub, honestly. All right. Don't forget, this goes in a certain way. This one, we're going to tap this axle right through it and get my axle nut. There you go. Go a couple of threads in, is what I usually do. Probably nice and solid. Okay, we're just going to tap it and go all the way down till I hit almost flush with it. Just want to jar it loose. It's pretty much loose. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it's coming out. So I threaded it out, knocked the axle in. Once the nut bottoms out, I did it again. But it should be ready to go. Let's see. Oh, of course not. Let's tap it with the wood side of the hammer. Okay, as I support it. There you go. All right. There's your wheel bearing. The grinding noises in there. You can feel it. It's like sandpaper. So you can't even roll it smoothly. It kind of like grabs every once in a while. All right. But that's a noise. I tried to give a video of the growling noise when I was driving, but it didn't come up. You can hear it. Let's see. Can't hear it. All right. That's it, people. Got the new bearing. Want to clean it all up and put the new one in. All right. Dun, 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 dun. This seal is actually part of this thing here, I think. And guess what, people? This one, the ABS sensor, is actually does not come with the new bearing. So we're gonna have to remove this little sensor here and pull it back out, because this little ring that's in here, that's gonna have to come out. All right. So this looks like a little 10 millimeter, and that little sensor will come right out. So we're gonna do that. All right, a little 10 millimeter screw. Take this, want to take the sensor out. This is the first front wheel bearing that I saw that the ABS sensor does not come with it. All right, so you learn something as you go, right? If you were to take that out, then this will come out with the little square in there that the sensor goes into. All right, so wire brush time. We're gonna clean this all up the best that you can, and then we'll put the wheel bearing back in. All right. Now it's the fun part. The hard part is done. All right, here's the wheel bearing I'm using. Duralast 1-year warranty DL513296. All right, this has close to 185,000 miles on this thing. So you could buy the 3-year one if you want. It's about another $40, $45. All right, you can go with the 1-year one here, and we're gonna place it in there. Okay. Don't forget, make sure that it's orientated. Is that the word? Orientation makes a big difference. Okay. This is gonna go up this with these 2 bolts, and you're gonna have the sensor go right there. If you flip it this way, if you notice, the slot is not going to be there for the sensor. So make sure you put it in right and properly. Don't forget your spare shield. This goes in here. Okay, I put a little small anti-seize on this axle shaft, just so it'll go in a little bit easier for me. Just like that. Okay, set that in there. Run this in a little bit. All right. See, I'm just a little bit off, so I'm gonna turn it since I have the car in neutral. All right, so now line up the bolts as it spins around. I'm gonna get the bolts through the other side, put the nut, the big nut on the side. Whoa, everything's falling on me right now. All right, you're doing. Put this in here so it doesn't fall on me. It ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna fish the 4 17mm bolts through the back. Might have to turn the wheel a little bit here and there just to line it up. All right, and then after that I'll get back to you. Let's do it. Let's finish it up. All right, so once your bearing is in, your dust shield is on, put your 4 17mm bolts from that way, torque it to specs. Got your 32mm nut, torque that to specs, and then you got this cotter pin cage, right? You might have to turn it around until you find it so that it's perfectly lined up. Because if you see, got you over here, okay? It doesn't line up with the hole. So you keep turning it 1 notch at a time until it clears, and once it clears on one side, it's going to clear on the other, okay? Then you stick your cotter pin in. New cotter pin, people. As much as you want to use your old cotter pin, do not. They are cheap enough, and it's a big safety thing, okay? I don't care how good the old one looks, always get a new one. All right? So of course, everybody puts cotter pins differently. Some will put it this way and then turn it like that. Other people would just do one and bend it this way. The one in the factory, what they did was they just did one. So they took one, they bent it this way. The other one they cut flush. So that's fine. There's nothing that goes here except for just the hubcap. So what you can do is, I like to do is, I'll cut a little short here, like this, just before the hub, okay? Trying to prevent it from shattering. It's a tough one, people. It's a good cotter pin, that's for sure. All right, once I bend that over, I usually like to push this one in and bend it towards the hub. So I'm going to tap it with a little hammer here, little hammer handle. So do it this way. I'm going to butcher up a little bit, so it won't come out. All right, it's kind of like spread that way. All right, now we're going to go with the 10mm for the ABS sensor. All right, see if I can show you back here. So yeah, so with this particular model, take the ABS sensor first off, okay? That way the wheel bearing would slide right out. So this is going to go into this hole here, nice and smooth, easy peasy. Little 10mm bolt I'm going to tighten that up in there. Once this is tightened up, then we go with the rotor, caliper bracket, calipers, brake pads. Don't forget to push the piston back in, because it does make it easier for you to put it all back together. All right, that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to tighten that up with the rotor on. All right, here you go. I forgot where I was, but anyway, put the rotor on. A little old school trick is to put a lug nut on here, and it holds the rotor flat. Otherwise, it's going to come out on you. Put the caliper bracket on. Torque the 22mm bolts to specs. Put the brake pads on. Push back the caliper. Lubricated the piston side and the caliper slide side. This is going to go back on. Push back your little sliders there. Find the bolts. Oh, they're over there. All right, I'm getting my 2 bolts over there. Once you get the 2 caliper bolts back on, want to tighten them up. Take a little brake cleaner, spray the rotors up. Make sure there's no grease or anything on it. Step on the brakes as soon as you get in, because you got to push the piston back out to make it meet the brake pads. Then want to take it for a spin. We'll get the noise to go away, and then we're all good to go. All right, so we're just going to tighten this up. Get the wheel back on, take it for a spin. Right, and there's your wheel bearing. Wheel bearing is done. All right. Thanks for watching, folks.